USC football, presented by Pechanga Resort Casino, kicks off in 2 hours. But the tailgating, that starts now. This is the Trojan Tailgate Show, presented by YETI.
From the 4-yard line, and Branch slowly working up the field, then turns on the Jets. Cuts it back in at the 20. He's going to go all the way. 96 yards. Zachariah Branch, how do you do?
Brought to you by YETI. We make the gear that helps you stay out longer, travel farther, and live harder. By Pechanga Resort Casino, proud partner of USC football. By Stone Brewing, proud partner of USC athletics. And by Smart Stop Self-Storage, the smarter way to store. Visit smartstop.com to reserve your space today. And now, here are your Trojan Tailgate Show hosts, Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Sua Cravens, and Max Brown.
Hello and welcome to the Trojan Tailgate Show, presented by YETI. You're looking live at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. And at me and my friends, Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Sua Cravens, Max Brown. Are we not friends?
Yeah, what was that?
No, we're friends. I'm friends.
We'll see if we're still friends 90 minutes from now once we get through another show. Max, good to have you, bud.
It's good to be back. I heard ratings were tanking because of your questions last week, so we had to get some support.
Yeah,
here.
why is that a thing? Why are my questions just like, oh, here goes Sue about to ask? Like, what is that?
Hey, the text threads were flowing. That's what I heard.
The questions are a little bizarre, but we have a special guest today. I think you're going to like it, Sua. So I'm curious to see what you have for Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to join us later in the show. Cody Kessler will join us.
Big
Keely
lineup.
Yor will join us. We got everybody because we got you set for a huge game. USC versus Stanford, USC's oldest rival. The Pac-12 opener, the last Pac-12 opener as we know it, certainly for the Trojans. And, USC comes rolling into it, Sean. Back-to-back 50-point games. Sort of as expected, a little bit of an NFL preseason vibe, and now it begins for real here tonight.
Yeah, getting going finally. It feels like we've been waiting for this game for a while. With the not to take away anything from Nevada and San Jose State, but kind of warm up for the Pac-12 for the USC team this year. So to get to it finally, Stanford, the last go around, like you said, Jordan, the Pac-12 start with Stanford here in a night game. Looks like the tailgating's going crazy. They've been probably doing it all day, so I expect a rowdy crowd in here tonight.
Sui, we put the stats up on the screen. USC's averaging 61 points per game. Honestly, feels like they're leaving points in the field every time they don't score right now.
Yeah, I think we could have dropped 80 like Oregon did the other day. I think we could, if we left our starters in for a genuine 3 quarters and actually was like, nah, let's try to score every drive, I think we can put up 80. So that's who we got at quarterback. Caleb, he's going to do it, make it look easy. We have a stable full of receivers and running backs. So right now we haven't been tested, but I think tonight will be the first real test.
Takeaway through 2 weeks, Max?
Yeah, to me, I think that preseason bowl could continue into tonight. I mean, this is a Stanford team that is down relative to years past, and with the bye week looming next week, I think you got to be wary of that. But yeah, through 2 weeks, we learned that we have the best player in college football. We learned the defense is a lot deeper. We learned the offensive line has a lot of bodies we're shuffling through there, hoping in tonight that we get more clarity around who those top 5 guys are. We learned that, to me, there's no true number 1 receiver this year. I think it's going to switch every single week who that dude is, but a lot of playmakers, a lot of depth on this team, and every reason to think that we're, in contention and have the right roster to compete late in this year.
Well, Max, let's stay with the Caleb conversation. I thought you had an interesting conversation earlier this week with Lincoln Riley on Trojans Live. There's obviously the Caleb that can stand and deliver from the pocket, but the one that just makes him truly exceptional is the one that is able to improvise. And you talked a little bit just sort of how college football has changed and people like Caleb right in the middle of it.
Yeah, I mean, scramble drill's always been a thing. I think at USC with quarterbacks like myself and Cody and Carson and all those guys, scramble drill was maybe not as much of an emphasis. Obviously with Caleb, it's a totally different deal, and we've seen so many big plays throughout the first 2 weeks of him breaking the pocket when things break down and then creating big plays. What stuck out to me, though, is Lincoln's comments in the presser being like, oh, he can play better. And at first I was like, man, that's just coach talk. Like, get out of here with that. But when you watch the film, there are some checkdowns that I'm sure coach is honing in on Caleb. Hey, get the ball to your hands here because later in different games, those are the plays you need. But obviously 13 is a special cat back there.
And I feel like Sua, Caleb can play better. But again, just the vibe around these first 2 games kind of felt to me like Lincoln Riley was holding his cards close to his vest. Part of the receiver thing to me, too, is like, why should I show you who my best 3 or 4 receivers are? I don't think I need to. I think I can make everybody happy, and he's playing the video game out there. So the two of them, to me, feel like they're still warming into the season a little bit.
I mean, you said it. It's like a preseason. It's like, you can go out there with a play call sheet, but you're not going to have your bag. You're not going to have your plays you're going to go into late into the season, and you don't want to give that up that early. If you can beat teams and drop 60 simply by running RPOs and Caleb leaving the pocket and making something happen on his feet, you're happy with that now, but that we don't plan to play like that as the season goes on. As the teams get better, we won't be able to get away with that with more disciplined teams. So obviously right now you take what you get from your talent. You don't want to play down to your level of talent, but you go into it with a game plan that doesn't necessarily give everything away.
Sean, 14 people caught a pass last week.
That's crazy. I mean, that's crazy from a defensive perspective to look at that. The amount of people you have to focus on. Like Stanford coming into this game must be like, all right, who do we start with? Who do we got to focus on? And because we haven't really showed a number one yet, so it's like, who do we try to stop first? Usually as a defense, you say, who's their guy? Who do we stop? And you just can't tell on this offense so far. Maybe this kind of starts matriculate, kind of filter down, like it's starting to play now. Maybe we find a guy, but right now the amount of weapons is just overwhelming, I think, for a lot of defenses.
Well, a guy certainly stood out in the backfield last week, and that was Marshawn Lloyd. He kind of looked how we expected. I thought week one he was relatively quiet, or game one, I should say. But last week, you saw the burst. And honestly, I thought he showed something, now thinking about it, that really USC didn't have last year. Travis Dye, Austin Jones, Darwin Barlow as their three carriers. They had to put Raleek Brown in at times just to get a little extra burst. Yep. Lloyd has that extra gear that maybe some of those other guys don't.
Yeah, you could see that one bounce out run that he took out to the left side of the end zone there. Just a fantastic run. But he has all facets of the game so far. And if you listen to him talk this year, that's really one to work on, being a fully complete running back. As you can see him, he catches out of the backfield here.
That clip right there, I thought was really impressive.
I think we'll learn a lot tonight, too, because if any game's going to be the game where they can rotate Austin Jones back into the fold, it's against his own team tonight. So we'll learn if it's truly a 1A, 1B, or if it's one Marshawn Lloyd, two Austin Jones after the rep count tonight.
Yeah, and that clip for our radio audience was when he turned over, the throw was on the other shoulder, and he turned around really like a receiver, showed great body control, and not easy for a lot of running backs in running back pads to be able to do that, but he has the full game, Sua.
He looks like Gibbs. That's on the line.
Jameer?
Like out the backfield, catching
Speedster?
the ball. It's just he has that bounce to him where it's like, he might not score a touchdown, but this is going to look like a real good 5-yard gain right here. He just has that burst, and he runs explosive. Same with Barlow, too, though. So, I still want to see Barlow.
I know. We like all these guys. I mean, they're fun to watch run, and we're going to get to see them here tonight as well. Next up, we're going to take a deep dive into the USC defense, and it was a strong performance on that side of the football as well last week. We're just getting started. This is the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI.
Rise to the morning. It's calling. It's calling. Leave back home. Put down the sorrow and dance to me.
Rediscover your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, where you can be an impact player, a clutch hitter, or a wild card. No matter what your game is, the excitement and relaxation you're looking for is here. So get back to the fun and play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino.
Griffin is on it, shoots and scores! Ball through, into the middle of the box. Colbert finishes it off! With the left foot!
I'm not gonna believe this, girl.
Mom! Dad! Dad, have you seen this?
I did it.
Wells Fargo helps thousands of students go to college.
He got in.
By funding $107 million in scholarships and programming for diverse communities.
Don't worry. I'll be back.
When a bank does what it says,
I knew you could do it.
Opportunity happens. Doing gets it done. Wells Fargo, the bank of doing.
Hey, Trojan fans, did you know the Ralph's app gives you easy access to weekly sales and personalized coupons, and you can earn fuel points too? Check out the app today and save while you cheer us on to another great season. Ralph's, proud partner of USC Athletics. Beautiful late afternoon here at the Coliseum. It'll be a lights-out entrance for the Trojans tonight, playing prime time against the Stanford Cardinal. And the defense, Sean? Back in the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI. Sean Cody, Sua Cravens, Max Brown. I'm Jordan Moore. The defense, Sean, showed what we wanted to see last week, and I thought particularly the line of scrimmage, it felt like it was moving into the Nevada backfield all afternoon.
Yeah, definitely after the first game, you saw improvements. You look at the numbers there, it was a much better run defense performance the first game. A lot of guys missing gaps, and some of this stuff is to be expected in week one, but they definitely did a better job in week two, being more gap sound. Like you said, Jordan, they moved that line of scrimmage. Big Bear Alexander, specifically on some big third down and shorts, came up big, just knocking the offensive lineman back into the lap of the running back. It was a full-out effort, and especially with the way the linebackers were down to depth, that you need that surge from up front to get it started in the run game.
That 49 yards rushing for Nevada is the lowest by USC opponent since 2019. And Sua, it came in a little desperate fashion at the linebacker position. Going into it, we didn't know anything about injuries, and we were standing here and all of a sudden turned around and Eric Gentry and Mason Cobb were in street clothes. But that's the difference between this year and last year in a nutshell, right? All of a sudden now you're going to Shane Lee, who played a ton of ball last year. You're going to Rajon Davis, who's sort of had to bide his time and is ready to go now, and they both stepped up.
Yeah, Shane Lee actually had a really good game. Yeah. We weren't talking about him, and it seemed like it was kind of like, it's going to be Rajon's job, and then Shane Lee immediately answered the call as if he hasn't missed a beat and stepped in like a leader. I think he led the team in tackles last week, and you can see him pop immediately. So maybe him looking at the depth chart, that's kind of like a chip on his shoulder to go like, hey, I know what I can do, and I know how I can play. And, again, you take advantage of the opportunities that come your way. I think he did that last week.
Curious to see where that position goes going forward now. Shane certainly threw down a marker in that game. Don't know about the health of Mason Cobb or Eric Gentry. That's something that we'll follow throughout this show, and Keely Yor will give us a sideline update later on. But the good news is there's people there, but now it's a real competition.
And it'll be interesting when you have four guys that you feel confident in. Does it become a matchup-specific way of how you're starting these guys? I mean, you're playing an elite tight end today. Is that a recipe for maybe Eric Gentry's pass coverage to get into the mix at all? But I think, through first two games, impressed by the defense. Bear Alexander, to me, is he's going to be the hardest player to replace outside of Caleb Williams on this team. He's a difference maker up front. I think it's unique to see the pass rush ability at the defensive tackle spot. But then secondary-wise, still waiting for those guys to step up. It feels like we're still waiting for a difference maker in the secondary. I know Caleb Bullock had a lot of headlines this offseason, but one of those guys I think needs to step up and be the guy that, hey, when you're looking for a pick or a big play, you can count on them.
Sua?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I need Kalen to play better. Kalen knows I hold him to a high standard. So like there's too many missed tackles for me, and I needed to be somebody popping back there in the backfield or in the secondary. There needs to be a leader, whether you vocal or you're showing it with your play, where you hold a standard and you show it by example. You aren't afraid to play man. Like today, they're playing against a tight end. I wouldn't say he's elite. He definitely has a big body. He's gonna have favorite target. If I'm Kalen, I'm telling the coach, hey, whenever they're in a passing situation, put me man. No, end of discussion. And that's just the type of energy I want my best DB to have. So, Kalen, this needs to be your game. You're going to be my player, so I need to see it.
Jordan, I think one guy who played pretty good last week was Jalen Smith. I thought he came up and he tackled well.
2.5 tackles for loss.
Yeah, played up in the run game. Also, just a player who's, I think, gotten better every single week so far, especially if you're looking after last year. Look at 6 tackles last week and 2.5 TFLs. So a player that's been progressing. I think Christian Roland Wallace not being able to play last week. He started in the fold, got a couple hands on some passes last week. I think he's somebody that you can see in that back end that can help him out as far as depth.
When we talk about the deep balls, because really that's all that Nevada hit last week. They hit a couple deep balls, and that's where their points came from. When you looked at those, Sua, do you see a coverage issue? Do you see a technique issue? What did you see?
I mean, it just depends on the situation. The deep ball we gave up at first was a technique issue. You got one of our best corners in Damani playing man, and then when you're in man and you're the outside corner, your help is everything's inside. So the last thing you want to do is give out a free release on the outside away from your post safety, because then that deep ball gets you hit over the head. So that's something we can fixed. That's not talent-based. That's just, discipline. Come on, no mental errors. So we're beating ourselves before the balls even snap. And then sometimes, obviously, the play calling could be better. But at the end of the day, the teams we played, we can go man against the last two teams we played every play and still win the game. So you just want better from your guys.
All right, well, man-to-man defense is something you'll see at the Galen Center this year. USC men's and women's basketball, big seasons ahead. We're going to have some hoopers in the house here today. I think DeMar DeRozan will be here. I think Jordan McLaughlin will be here.
Mid-range.
So looking forward to seeing some of those guys. Trojan fans, it's a new era for USC basketball. Both teams are coming off of NCAA appearances and have brought in the top recruits in the nation, Juju Watkins and Isaiah Collier. Purchase your season tickets today at usctrojans.com/tickets. When we come back, our guy Cody Kessler is going to jump on stage. We got two quarterbacks. We're on a two-quarterback system, Steve Spurrier style. It's Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI.
You can feel it. A force that moves everything around it. With intensity and power that comes from deep down inside. Full-time fans, your passion is unshakable, and you deserve a reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
What if you could use retirement accounts to invest in crypto? With iTrust Capital, you can. iTrust Capital allows you to invest in your favorite crypto assets 24/7 with the tax benefits of an IRA. So instead of paying taxes on your crypto gains every year, you can defer taxes till you retire using an iTrust IRA. Or with an iTrust Roth IRA, you can withdraw tax-free at retirement because you're in this for the long haul. Start investing today at itrustcapital.com.
It's not just designed to look good. It's built to command attention. It's not just a comfortable interior. It's a quiet refuge. They're not just headlights. They light the way forward. The new fully electric Audi Q8 e-tron models. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
Today, a strong NIL program is essential to long-term success. Introducing House of Victory, a nonprofit, alumni-led, name, image, and likeness collective. As a proud NIL sponsor of the USC Trojans, we're dedicated to providing student-athletes NIL opportunities and resources.
Supporters can honor the tradition of victory by ensuring success in our future.
Victory is in the fabric of everything USC. Welcome into the House of Victory.
USC football is brought to you by your local SoCal Audi dealers and by AM/PM. Too much good stuff. Proud sponsor of USC Athletics. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Sua Cravens, and we got two QBs on the stage. Our guys Max Brown and Cody Kessler here, and they're here to deliver the offensive game plan.
Hot route! Red 7, red 7, red 7!
I don't know what red 7 means.
The USC Trojans offensive game plan is brought to you by AM/PM. Too much good stuff.
It's always fun breaking down a Lincoln Riley offense, and last week what really stuck out to me is the different ways this offense is able to attack the middle of the field. And we're going to start with last week's player of the game, Taj Washington. His ability in that slot when you go man coverage against this team, right? Some defensive coordinators are going to do that. Let's try to heat things up on Caleb Williams as we snap this ball. Taj Washington's going to be matched up one-on-one with this safety. As two linebackers blitz Caleb Williams, that leaves a void in the middle of the field. You're so focused on Zachariah Branch. You're so focused on the playmakers outside, and that's where Taj Washington can win. He won against Nevada. That's going to be a matchup he's going to have every single week because you can't double everyone, and it's an opportunity for explosive plays. Another explosive play right here. You're going to have Michael Jackson, another one of these receivers on this unit. He's again going to be in man coverage. Again, the middle of the field's going to be open because as we run this play, this Nevada safety He's going to be creeping into the box, trying to get involved in the run game. They're worried about Marshawn Lloyd. They're worried about Caleb Williams' legs. And when this inside zone run fake happens, that leaves a huge void at the U and USC in the end zone. And Michael Jackson, this is just easy money. This is a little RPO. That's extremely difficult to defend. The last way they're able to attack the middle of the field is with the guy I just mentioned, Marshawn Lloyd. You did a little empty breaker with Taj Washington. You did an RPO with Michael Jackson. Here you're going to one-on-one Marshawn Lloyd against a linebacker. See how the linebackers are up close against the line of scrimmage. They're worried about getting beat in the run game. They're getting sucked up with this run fake. And you have two high safeties. When you have two high safeties, the middle of the field is wide open. Don't forget about the running back in the passing game, and that's Marshawn Lloyd right down the middle of the field. Jordan, you mentioned it. It's been a little while since we've had an elite running back out of the backfield from a pass-catching standpoint. We've had a lot of good backs here, but Marshawn Lloyd adds that added element of catching the rock out of the backfield, which allows for some explosive plays.
All right, now we have talked a lot about the skill players on the offensive side of the ball, but I want to talk about the Trojan offensive line. I got to show some love to the big men up front. I want to take a look at two clips from last week against Nevada. Now, the first clip here, the two players I want you to pay attention to are right guard Jarrett Kingston and right tackle Mason Murphy. Now, as this play continues to run, you're going to see a great job here of these guys pulling around, right? We've talked about this play a lot, a staple in Lincoln Riley's offense. That guard tackle pull, the offensive line down blocking, and then the running back attacking downhill, reading his blockers. Now, as the play continues to go, the guy I really want to highlight here is Mason Murphy, right? This is the block you dream of as an offensive lineman, a great pancake block, getting him out of the club, throwing him to the ground, and Marshawn Lloyd does a great job of reading that and bouncing it outside. As this play continues to go, we have a one-on-one foot race with the defender. Marshawn Lloyd does a great job of beating him to the pylon and finishing in the end zone. Now, the next clip I want to look at is a play that went viral from a week ago, right? Yes, Caleb Williams is Houdini. Yes, he's a magician in the pocket. Yes, he's the most elusive quarterback in all of college football. But a huge part of that success is because of the guys up front and the effort that they put into pass protection. So I want to highlight all of them on this play. Now, as this play continues to run, I want you to notice the first two guys that I want you to pay attention to are the tackles, right? Left tackle Jonah Monheim doing a great job in protection at the top of your screen. And at the bottom of your screen, a great job by Mason Murphy. We got a little hands to the face, but we're not worried about it. We're not going to complain. We're going to anchor down in protection. We're going to do a great job of protecting our quarterback. Now, as this continues to go, you're going to see Caleb Williams do a great job of bouncing around a little bit and then stepping up into the pocket. But why can't he do that? That's because right guard Jarrett Kingston and left guard Emmanuel Pregnar are doing a great job of straining to finish, of staying on their blocks, of creating space for Caleb Williams in the pocket. And you see Justin Dietich in the middle of your screen in no man's land. That's because everybody's winning one-on-one and he has no one to help. Caleb Williams does a great job making a guy miss and finishing with a touchdown pass to Brennan Rice in the end zone. Yes, Caleb Williams is the best quarterback in all of college football, but a huge part of his success is because of this offensive line. And that's why we saw them last year in New York at the Heisman Trophy ceremony. And Jordan, today, Stanford has a very good front seven, a very physical front four defense. They had 6 sacks a week ago. They also held Hawaii to -5 rushing yards. So this is going to be the biggest test of the year for this Trojan offensive line, and I can't wait to see how they perform.
Yeah, there will be a test for sure in the pass rush with David Bailey on the other side. But the one negative last week, and Cody, I want to stay with you while we've got you. You and I are on the same page this week. I talked about it on the show on Monday. You talked about it on the podcast. Losing Gino Quinones, the obvious is, oh, it hurts. He was competing to start at guard, but there's bodies there. What just concerns me in a long season is that clearly he was the trusted backup center. Now, Lincoln Riley on the show said, oh, we're training a lot of different guys there. But bottom line is he was the guy behind Dietich. They need Dietich to hold up now because Gino is done for the year.
Yeah, absolutely. And, obviously my heart goes out to Gino. That's a tough one. You never want to lose a guy this early in the season. But the best part about that is they were rotating guys, right? We've talked about wanting to have continuity, but we've seen Emmanuel Pregnar play. We've seen Alani Noah play. We've seen Jarrett Kingston play. Now, obviously, those guys that are used to playing at those positions and rotating between right and left guard. So hopefully we get a little more consistency with it. But it's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out, especially getting into Pac-12 play.
It does, guys, seem like they're starting to lean towards the veterans in some of these competitions, and offensive line being one of them.
Yeah, that's how it breaks out usually. You're going to give these guys shots early, especially with the people we're playing against. And I think some of these young guys, Alani Noah, he showed well. Hey, coach, I can get out there and mix it up with these guys. But as this thing starts to crank down and the tension starts to rise, that's when coaches usually like to lean on their seniors, like to lean on their guys, their big hogs up front that they can trust.
And it's a long season, Sua. I mean, we saw it last year. The difference again this year that Lincoln Riley's talked about is, can some of these freshmen make impacts in the second half of the season when maybe all of a sudden you might be in South Bend and the guard goes down and Alani Noah now you're the guy, and we've seen that before.
Yeah, and this is why I was saying in week 0, like you kind of welcome a rotation of your O-line. It's good that the young guys are competing with some of these senior transfers because that means there either isn't a pure separation of talent or you don't trust somebody yet. But everybody's going to play and there's going to get experience. And now for situations exactly like this, thank God we've been rotating because now the next guy that you put in isn't wet behind the ears. He's not somebody who's new to this or hasn't played in it or hasn't changed positions. It's plug and play. So the rotation this is positive.
Well, thanks, Cody, for joining us. And, hey, make sure that you're listening to the Victory Podcast with Keely Yore, Cody Kessler. They do an incredible preview every week. That'll get you set for every single opponent. And then you can always get the recap pod, too, with Dion Bailey that'll come out on Sunday nights. And I tweeted earlier, all you guys have some Stanford history. So lots goes into this game with the guys that we got up on the stage. Cody, the quarterback for that great game 10 years ago. Sua had the pick that set up the game-winning field goal. Some pretty great memories in this building a decade ago. Dion Bailey had a pick in that game as well. Hey, we want to create more memories for you to get to the Coliseum and all our venues. The way to do it is usctrojans.com/tickets. Best and lowest prices for all your ticket needs. Visit usctrojans.com/tickets. It's time for the defensive game plan when we come back on the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI.
Conchas, takis, we need horchata.
AM/PM has horchata?
Yeah, let's get some.
Sabor that goes on and on and on. That's Cravenience.
Almost done.
AM/PM, too much good stuff.
Tungus!
May the right company turn any lake into a great lake. May true friendship be found in hard-to-reach places. May the toughest part of your day be deciding which arm to carry the cooler with. May you ditch malt-based hard seltzers for one with real vodka and real juice. And may high noon not just be a time of day, but the perfect way to enjoy it. High noon, sun's up.
Require another look from the back row by Berra. Fields muscles up. Lead his best offensive assets. McCall was set by Njai, and she's denied. USC sweeps the season series.
Introducing Celaya Tequila, brought to you by USC football legends Matt and Ryan Khalil. Celebrate your story with a homegrown spirit, Celaya Tequila. Back on the Trojan Tailgate Show, presented by YETI. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Sua Cravens, and Max Brown. And it's time to run it back with our defensive game plan.
Run it back.
Everyone knows defense wins championships. And a Trojans victory will require a solid defensive game plan.
Defense on 3. 1, 2, 3. Defense!
This is the USC Trojans defensive game plan. Brought to you by LifeLaw. Injury law made simple.
All right, you guys, we're chopping trees one last time. think this might be the last time we play these boys. Who knows? Who knows what the future holds? But we'll focus on today. Today is going to require a physical football team. No, it's not the same Stanford I played against. I used to go like 18 personnel and have 35,000 left tackles out on the field. But this is still the team that likes to be physical. This is a team that is incorporating the shotgun formation, but to still work the run game and to get the ball to their big tight end. So we're going to talk about the front seven and what they're going to do, because last week is what a little preview of what we need to see tonight. So with our first play, I'm going to talk about this boy, this man, Bear Alexander, winning in the front seven. Look, knockback is all you need from your front seven as a DB. It is the easiest position to play at DB. If I know that my front four guys and some of these linebackers are getting to the quarterback or winning their one-on-ones, I don't even have to bend my knees. I can stand at 10 yards and watch y'all make the play, because when you're physical at the point of attack like this, you knock the center back into the running back and you get a 3-yard tackle for loss where everybody can get in on it. They didn't even have a chance to convert that, because that knockback at the snap sets up that play. Bear Alexander, even when he doesn't make the play, he does. Here's another mix-up. We got a field pressure. We're just going to send our end on a pirate loop right here. Solomon Byrd, there's nothing crazy about this. We don't need to send 5 or 6 to get to the quarterback. Let's just confuse the protection. Pirate stunt on the inside from our end. He's going to fall down into that C gap. We're going to send our linebacker to replace him in the D gap to contain. And when you keep your QB pressure in your contain lanes, the quarterback has to step up, and then that causes havoc. Fumble, we don't get it. However, the quarterback is nervous now. So when he sees another field pressure like this, where he thinks he can't escape to the pocket, he's going to step up first, which is how this play happens. Again, we got Braylon Shelby off the edge. He's going to go and keep his rush contain lane, force the quarterback to step back up in the pocket, and then we get a big man touchdown. It is as simple as that. We don't need 7-man pressure. We don't need fire zone. We don't need to get cute. We can send 4 and 5, confuse their pressure, be disciplined in our rushing lanes, and win up front. One-on-ones, being physical, do your job, win your assignment, and I promise you, you'll have a really good game. Tonight, be disciplined, be smart. This is the last time we might play these boys, so we're going to get their best shot. Front seven, I'm counting on y'all.
Yeah, guys, I think this is an important game, because I think this is the first game the defense is really going to have to try to stop a specific person. You got Urasek, the tight end for Stanford. He's a talented tight end, and they're going to have to game plan. I think these first two opponents, you didn't really game plan. You were kind of vanilla with what you were doing, and this time you have someone you can try to take out of the ball game, and that's important in this game. And we have some talented players, and I think Gentry will be a part of that. I think Kalen Bullock will be a part of that. We'll see who gets in there, but definitely this week, the first week, you get some game planning on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to continuing to see this pass rush develop. It's kind of like the receivers. The pass rush is there, but not one guy is the guy yet. There's 6 sacks and nobody has 2 of them. What have you seen in terms of who do you think that guy is going forward? Do you see it yet? And, you know, that Braylon Shelby clip has my mouth watering a little bit.
Oh, yeah, Braylon Shelby, a young man like that, you look at his stature and what he looks like, he's a great-looking player out there. But I think it's good to have everyone being able to get after it. When defensive lines are great, it's usually not one guy. It's usually everybody. Last year we were too dependent on Thule. Last year trying just to create the pass rush. Great pass rush teams. As the one I played on at USC, we had 4 or 5 guys deep. We had guys behind us that could all rush the passer. And when at defensive line, you can't stay out there all day like an offensive lineman. Those big uglies just can go up and down the field. Defensive linemen, you're in for 4 or 5 plays. They rotate you out. They need that next guy passing. And I think this line has depth on it where they can get those pass rush. It's not just Bear Alexander. It's not just Anthony Lucas. Jimmy Muhammad coming in. Young Shelby coming in. So a lot of different weapons they can use, keep them all fresh, and they can roll the whole game.
And Max, Lincoln Riley in Trojans Live this year has been really consistent with this message of what he's looking for, and that is the pocket to be closed from the front. He wants those offensive linemen pushed back into the quarterback. That's what he's looking for this year.
And that's why it's so fortunate to have Barrett Alexander there in the middle, where it's not just a guy. I know when he came over from Georgia, I was like, all right, we're going to have a big guy in the middle against run. But now that he's able to be a factor pass rush-wise, it helps those edge rushers out. It helps the other defensive tackle on the other side of him. So keeping him fresh is big. And I think not only with the defensive line, but with some of the aggressive nature of Grinch, maybe get some more of the true linebackers in there from pass rush situations or a nickel player. But like Sue has said, I think with this defense, you have enough depth and enough skill now where you don't need to get cute. You don't need to out-scheme people per se. You just need to execute and play, in some regard, vanilla football because we're better than the other team.
Sean, how are your kids?
My kids are fantastic, Jordan. How about your kids?
Sue, are your kids good?
They're great. They're running my house.
No kids yet, Max?
I got nothing. Don't put that pressure on me.
What are you doing?
Don't wish that even on me.
We watch ball all day, baby. All ball all the time.
Make sure you sign them up for Junior Trojans.
Boom.
Trojan fans, get excited. The Junior Trojans
Do it.
Kids
Sign
Club
them up.
package.
Let's go.
Are you ready?
Care at all.
Kids Club package. I didn't care at all. You're right. That was just a segue.
Wow.
It's finally launched. Grab yours today. USCTrojans.com/Kids Club. All right. When we come back, we're going to talk more about that pesky tight end. Stanford's got a good one. USC's got to figure it out. That's next on the Trojan Tailgate Show, presented by YETI.
Personal injury suits can be scary and full of questions. How can I pay for it? If I've been in an accident, who fixes my car? Who pays my medical bills? And will it all be worth it in the end? LifeLaw simplifies the process, answering your questions and more by providing 24/7 support that's clear and precise, while offering the latest in technology to let you know where your case stands at all times. Good news. LifeLaw. Injury law.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Caleb Williams, quarterback, USC. What I like most about athletic is that I can worry about my body and still go out and socialize, have fun with friends, and feel fresh and focused still.
Wow, we're crunching tons of polygons here.
What's going on? Where's Regina?
Hi, I'm LaDonna. I invest in Invesco QQQ, a fund that gives me access to NASDAQ 100 innovations like real-time CGI.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry, I got it.
Become an agent of innovation with Invesco QQQ. Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses, and more in the prospectus at Invesco.com.
In today's college athletics landscape, a strong name, image, and likeness program is an essential pillar to on-field success. House of Victory is an alumni-led nonprofit collective dedicated to providing a competitive edge in the NIL space. To join our alumni community and benefit student athletes, text HOV to 53555. I was watching the House of Victory commercial during one of our breaks, and they had Matt Barkley up there, and under him, guy's the all-time touchdown leader in USC history, but under it just said QB beat UCLA 50-0. So. I guess they like that one. Rub it in a little bit forever. Yep. One of Matt's accomplishments for sure. We're back live on the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI with Sean Cody, Stuart Cravens, and Max Brown. I'm Jordan Moore, and now it's time for this week's Impact Matchup.
The Impact Matchup of the Week. Brought to you by Invesco QQQ. Explore with Invesco QQQ. Fight on.
Let's go!
And now the Impact Matchup of the Week.
Well, here we go. Lincoln Riley said earlier, just sort of casually was like, "Oh yeah, we got to deal with a tight end this week," and it's like we remember what it was like last year. So they got to figure it out this year, and it starts tonight with Benjamin Urasek. He is sort of your classic Stanford tight end. In week one, he had 9 catches for 138 yards, and so Sua, here we go. Is it Jalen Smith, the slot? Is it Kalen Bullock, a safety? Or is it a linebacker? Or is it everybody? How are we going to do it?
I mean, I just don't know how else to look at it. Like, whenever we had these type of matchups, the first day of practice earlier in the week, they'd be like, they have a guy at tight end, Sua, that's you. All right, let's talk about the game plan. Like, there was no other discussion.
21, you got him.
Hey, 21, when he lines up at 1, guess who has him? Yep, okay, we're going to call this whenever it's a passing down.
But it was because of your skill set, physical enough to hang in the box, but athletic enough where they're not going to just one-up you.
So if I'm a guy like Kalen Bullock, who's a projected first-rounder and All-American and all this good stuff, and this tight end is the guy, this is who I'm going to see at the next level. This is who I'm going to play. Whenever they call man, he's going to be considered a small tight end at the NFL level. So let me get into this now and see if I can actually hang with somebody like this. So if it was me, if I'm Kalen Bullock, hey, passing downs, I got him. No discussion.
One of the things that Cody Kessler brought up on the Victory podcast was that you do have Christian Roland Wallace, who you've been training in nickel, and he is a very big corner, so potentially another option there.
Yeah, Christian Roland Wallace. I think for me, it's, obviously you'd love to see Kalen Bullock go out there and do his job and step up in that, that safety position, being All-American. But sometimes that doesn't happen, and you got to have a backup plan. Last year we didn't have a backup plan going into Utah, and look at how they treated us that week. So if it's all hands on deck for this stop job, you gotta know that Stanford wants to throw to this guy, and we're gonna take him out of the game. Now, if it's with one guy, it's with two guys. We got to eliminate them, make them go somewhere else with the ball, and don't let one guy beat you all day. Now whether that's Kalen Bullock, if that's Gentry, if that's Jalen Smith, the CRW, I don't care who it is, but Stop yours.
In fairness, Dalton Kincaid was the first tight end drafted. He turned out to be pretty good.
Not too shabby.
Matthew Meyer, who we saw at Notre Dame catch a pass over Max Williams. They got him isolated in that Notre Dame game. He was, I think, the second tight end drafted. So they saw pretty good ones. Where does Urasek rank Max in terms of how good he is?
I'd say he's more of an athletic type of tight end than relative to Kincaid and Meyer. I think both those guys were good inline blockers. But to me, in this matchup, it's not only so much just, hey, literally what can he do one-on-one, but where is he going to line up, and can this defense get lined up accordingly, right? They're going to move him all around the field, and we saw in week 1 against San Jose State, some of the mistakes defensively were not a skill thing. It was just an alignment and doing your job and getting to the right coverage. And so if they're moving Urasek all around the park, that it's not necessarily the guy covering him, but the corner on the other side of the field, can you make sure you're in the right coverage with all the movement they'll do? That, to me, is a big factor with Urasek.
All right, something fun that we've had on the show so far this year as we head to the sideline for a live report from Keely Yor, and she's over there right now and has a fan question for us this week. How's it going, Keely?
Hey, guys. Now, we heard from Lincoln Riley earlier in the week that the play from Rajon Davis and Shane Lee were two of the cleanest performances they've had at that position so far this season. So we got a question on the podcast this week from Alex, who asked, if you were Lincoln Riley, would you start Rajon Davis and Shane Lee against Stanford this week? And I'm curious your guys' thoughts, especially because Stanford under Troy Taylor, we've seen so many pre-snap, post-snap, a lot of movement from them. Do you go with the guys who maybe have more play recognition than what we've seen from maybe Tackett Curtis?
What do you think, Sean?
I think the coaches are going to go with whoever they think is the best player. To me, you don't base it off last week's play. Obviously, Shane Lee and Rajon Davis came in and performed average last week. But if Mason Cobb and Eric Gentry, if you think they're the dudes, they need to be in there playing ball.
So maybe that's really the question. Is it, hey, I'm always going to play my dudes, or do you believe in game plan specific personnel?
Nah, like a game like this, I need my dudes in. Like, I need to know when they run GG, are you going to run and put your face in the mess? Because I can't have time for half-stepping, because a team like Stanford, once they feel like there's a leak, and they're gonna try to game plan something, and we know once they get a touchdown or two lead, that clock starts to move a little bit faster than it normally does. So I want my guys in.
I think, and this is nothing against Davis, but I think it's important to keep Shane Lee involved, because I get the sense that he's the one guy that can huddle those guys up and say, hey, we need to get right. And so making sure that your leader's engaged in every game plan, that to me is not insignificant for the whole season.
Not having a linebacker's a little different than defensive line. Defensive line, you can rotate those guys in. You need your linebacker. When I look back and I get the call from somebody, I don't want to see somebody different every time. I want to see my guy.
You don't want strong right out there. Nah, you need somebody with confidence.
Well, Shane Lee, 2 years at USC, two-time captain. That certainly says something for his leadership ability. We'll see how much we see him on the field today against Stanford. Thank you, Keely. Go see who's in pads and who's not. That's the big question we want to hear from you. We will come back to you later on in the show. Hey, there's going to be a cool deal tonight at halftime. This is for the pregame light show. So everyone's got to download
Get in the stadium.
The app. So this is presented by Coca-Cola. Take out your cell phones right now. Scan the QR code. This is anyone that's going to be inside the stadium.
So.
And download the USC Trojans Game Day app so that you can get the light show and intro video done for us tonight. Be sure to enable microphone and camera permissions. Boy, this is a lot of tech. Hold up your phone and enjoy the show. All right, we got the QR code on the screen. Just scan that and start following instructions. And if you have any issues,
call Jordan.
Call Sean. All right, we're back. Coming up next, we will take a deeper look at Stanford. This is the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
It's been a phenomenal year. You go to New Year's Six Bowl, you have one of the best turnarounds in school and NCAA football history as a team. And the reality is we lost some games as a team too.
Stunned Trojan fans.
But that does not change that we're here right now. We know what we got to do. So if you get a chance to come along for the ride, I'd highly suggest it.
Trojan Tailgate Show team, assemble!
And that's why T-Swift is a legend.
Hello and welcome to the Trojan Tailgate Show, presented by YETI.
Sometimes faster isn't always better. Like when you're getting a tattoo. Or saying I love you on the first date. Or putting together certain Swedish furniture.
But when it comes to getting in and out of the airport, faster is always better. And at Ontario International Airport, you can have a stress-free experience from the curb to the gate. It's the least we can do.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
It is absolutely beautiful right now, but it was a hot one today. I bet Sua's air conditioning was pumping in the valley this afternoon.
Always.
LADWP has rebates up to $225 on new air conditioners to help you beat the heat and save money. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Sua Cravens, and Max Brown with you on the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI. We've got ourselves the Stanford Cardinal, and it's this week's Scouting Report.
It's time for the Scouting Report, brought to you by Stone Brewing, proud partner of USC Athletics. Now, we're going to help you get to know today's opposing team.
I like the Troy Taylor hire. I liked it when they did it, and I think so far so good. But, Sean, this is not David Shaw and Jim Harbaugh at Stanford.
No, new era for Stanford. They're starting with their coach Troy Taylor, and he's come from Sac State. Great hire for them, I think. Coming off the era of Harbaugh and David Shaw, you think about power football, just trying to stuff to run at you. This ain't that. Same, different kind of offense, different kind of mentality on this team. So they're starting this area off. Had a good, okay start against Hawaii. I thought, some things to work on. Obviously, their first game of the year, getting some stuff to work on against Hawaii, but give up some stuff in the past game. I think the quarterback, Ashton Daniels, a good quarterback. They like to run around with him, get him out of the pocket, some designed runs for him. He can do some stuff to you. Obviously, we talked about Yurcek, the tight end, but some stuff this team has to get going, I think, under a new era.
Yeah, so they looked very good offensively against Hawaii last week. It's Hawaii, so we'll take it how it is. But you think they'll try to play up tempo today with the Trojans and just go shot for shot?
No, I honestly don't think so. I think their strength was to try to actually take what David Shaw used to do and just kind of play bully ball and see how that works. I know they want to be in shotgun formation. They want to get the ball to their tight end and line them up all over the place, but if you want to game plan this defense, try to establish a run game so that these DBs do creep up so now you can sneak shots to your tight end and create those mismatches. And I think, like I said earlier, if they create momentum in the run game to the point where they feel confident enough to get 5 yards on first down and second down, we might see some shots deep. So you got to be careful for this offense.
And if it takes shot deeps, it's going to be to John Humphreys, who we've played the past couple years there. He's their big physical receiver on the outside. And you're seeing Casey Filkins, and they have a good backfield with E.J. Smith, Casey Filkins as well. Bryce Farrell's that third back. So some playmakers they can get to. To me, what sticks out is their offensive line. They lost 3 offensive line starters a year ago to the transfer portal. That's a big reason why my player of the game today is going to be our defensive lineman. But that's something to watch, especially in the second half, if USC can wear him down up front.
So I mentioned him earlier, but that guy I think USC wanted, and maybe he just caught in between a little bit, in between eras here at USC, didn't have enough time to recruit him. But David Bailey is a player, local guy down here, 3 sacks in week 1. He's something to watch today.
I don't like when local guys go anywhere else but California. So yeah, it hurts.
Well, he is in California.
Well, anywhere else but SoCal.
Yes.
Southern Cal.
Yes.
So to be specific, but yes, 6 tackles, 3 sacks. Like that's ridiculous. Like to have a game, young man. I wish you were wearing some cardinal and gold when you were doing it, but he's going to come out here with a point to prove, as every recruit that decides not to go to USC does when they come to the Coliseum. It just hits different if you can leave a bitter taste in a team you wanted to go to's mouth. So I expect him to come out with his hair on fire, and we better address it in the first quarter.
Man, things we need to address. There's a lot happening of people coming down the tunnel. First off, we just saw Mason Cobb come down the tunnel, and it doesn't look like he's playing. He's got the same kind of chain situation as Sue. You must go to the same jeweler. You both are sparkling.
Nah, he can't
tonight.
afford that Sue.
Sean, you got to get some of those.
I'm trying to get like him.
And then you look over here. If we could pan over to it, the El Segundo Little League champions are in the house as well. They're at the bottom of the tunnel, so you're watching on the stream.
Oh,
you're watching
juicing.
the Trojans.
He's rocking the Trojan colors too.
Warm up. Yeah. They got UCLA blue. There they are. There's the El Segundo Little League champs.
Coach O would be livid right now.
As we transition into Rate That Drip, I guess we should start with the Little League guys. They got some swaggy unis going, a little camouflage. They're ready to go for this one. Let's see what the guys look like tonight and Rate That Drip.
Your Trojans are in the building.
Caleb, over here, Caleb.
And it's time to Rate That Drip. Presented by Zern Elke.
And speaking of, basically, there he is. He may not be playing, but he
came up with the drip and came down with the drip. He did not change. He will not be playing today.
Never wear sleeves if your arms look like that.
What was the bag for if he wasn't playing today? Just the ensemble. Oh, Kyron, I need that.
Coach O wouldn't be having that. A little light blue.
No, that's like pink dolphin like color. That's not pink.
That is light blue.
No, I'm saying like pink dolphin colorway. Like that's kind of like their,
See, I like the look on the left right there.
Those might be Jabot jeans.
That's just clean right there.
Okay, hey.
Ooh, Zachariah Branch.
Hey, when I seen his fit last week, I said after one game, you gonna get the chest out?
He's got the NASCAR jacket fresh off the race in here.
I'm telling you, best suit game in the game.
And he's got
right
the
here.
point. That's a good pick game right there. Who the photographer? There you go.
Is that a rose? Hey, he wasn't even pointing at nothing. He waited for him to take the camera and went.
He ain't pointing at nothing.
And went like
He
this.
just got the shot.
Okay, Taj probably thinking about his meal he gonna make after the game. Like
that's camo right there. That's legit.
That's nice though. That's bait.
Yep.
That's bait.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Where did that picture come from?
He's got the Henley with the undershirt.
Horrible.
He's got the Henley with the undershirt.
There's no way I put
Jordan
that
Moore.
on the internet.
Hey, you look like
we gotta loosen up.
You look like a special guest on Friends.
Yeah.
You look like you're gonna walk through the door.
That is the longest jean crotch shot I've ever seen. It's like
those jeans
it's
are
a
so
foot
baggy.
long.
That zipper is to his thigh, bro.
This is the radio audience knows. They just found some horrible, awkward face photo of me. I don't know, 7th grade maybe?
Awkward. I thought you were this is prime.
Yeah, this is prime right here. It's a couple years ago.
Races going on here. Why
I'll
are the
be
jeans,
there for
why are the
you.
jeans so long?
So long.
What's happening with the jeans?
I'll be there for splashing in the fountain
You know
on
what?
SC.
Gia just told me I could go to a break anytime, and I have never wanted to go to a break more than this moment. You're watching the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI.
Smart Stop Self-Storage has state-of-the-art security systems operating 24 hours a day. So we see everything. Everything.
Our idea of the perfect day? You, your best friend.
Yeah, buddy. You ready to run?
And Quattro all-wheel drive. Own the elements in the Audi Q5.
Let's go, buddy.
The 22-year-old senior was found in a campus residence of an apparent suicide this semester.
He hid the depth of his pain and chose a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
A lot of my performance dictated my mental health and just like my mental well-being.
Depression can affect anybody. It does not discriminate.
I just want to make talking about mental health normal.
Hey, Trojan fans, did you know the Ralph's app gives you easy access to weekly sales and personalized coupons, and you can earn fuel points too? Check out the app today and save while you cheer us on to another great season. Ralph's, proud partner of USC Athletics, and no one gets you closer to college football than SiriusXM. Download the SiriusXM app. Take the USC Trojans with you all season long. Tune in to SiriusXM Pac-12 Radio for news, analysis, and more straight from your phone. No car required. Everyone's showing off their shoes here inside the Collie. Oh, we got Gavin on the screen. The legend, Gavin Morris.
Gavin's got the kicks on, too.
Gavin, you got to wave to the camera. Gav, wave to the camera up there. Oh, there you go. There you are.
You don't know.
There you are.
Get on.
Always got to know where your camera is, Gavin. That's TV 101.
He started
right there.
twerking. Look at him.
Get on, Gav.
It's the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI, and it's time now for the Cardinal Gold Report.
It's time for the Cardinal and Gold Report.
Cardinal and Gold!
Presented by Pechanga Resort Casino, proud partner of USC football.
Well, this is the Pac-12 opener, so it's time for our Pac-12 preview. It always seems to start the same way for USC in the last decade or so with a matchup against Stanford, but the whole league got off to a great start last week, 13-0 through week 0 and 1. It's only gotten better so far today. That was last week's scoreboard, but it's only gotten better so far today. I know Colorado beat Nebraska. Oh, we got some scores. Live scores up.
Oregon, y'all better get it together.
Right
there you go, Cougs. There you go, Cougs.
To us.
Utah squeaking by.
Arizona, I need that.
They were down 14-0. Yeah, Washington State dominating Wisconsin on the Palouse. So,
why now, though? Why now? Why now?
Who's been playing QB for the Bruins?
Dante Moore took the first snaps for UCLA. So give me contenders, guys. Each of you talk up who you think USC's biggest competition is to win this league this year.
I'm going to go with Oregon and Bo Nix. I think they're going to be the top challenge this year. Obviously, we got to go up there and play them too. I think it's going to be a tough environment. Always going up there is tough. So I think that it'll be a tough game to get up there.
Yeah, I would say Oregon and Utah, but based on what I saw from Utah today against Baylor, and
Cam Rising's still hurt though.
Yeah,
Cam Rising is a game changer for them. They're playing basically a walk-on quarterback without him.
I guess that's true. So if that's the case, and Cam Rising is going to be back and be in the flow of things, I would then say, a ball. I would then say Utah's their toughest competition, but they always are.
I'm going the Washington Huskies.
Yeah,
I think their offense can.
Northwest
there you go. Yeah, their offense can hang with USC's offense. I mean, it feels like watching those first two games for the Huskies, like they're gearing up to score on every single play. Their receivers are legit. They think they have two top couple round type receivers. Michael Penix obviously in that Heisman conversation. Their defense is better, especially their secondary. So I got the Dogs as the toughest test.
Well, then I'll talk about the other team that people just need to keep an eye on, and that's Oregon State. And you know what the key is for the Beavers? They won the schedule lottery. They're the one Pac-12 team that has a little bit of a softer schedule than some of the other ones. USC has to play all the big dogs in the second half of the season. Oregon State can kind of hang around, and then they have two big games at the end. But they do seem to have figured out their quarterback position a little bit with DJ Uyunglele, and that's the story, Max, of the conference this year. the quarterback play. It's kind of old school Pac-12. It's kind of going out on a classic year because that's what this has always been, a conference known for quarterbacks and scoring points, and that's what it's going to be this year.
And did we really just go through a contender segment without mentioning Colorado? Like, I feel like you gotta throw them in there, at least with Shedeur Sanders, and we'll see how their depth plays out in November. But, top to bottom, even like the Arizonas of the world, and we talk about Dante Moore at UCLA, even Cam Ward up at Washington State looks like they're going to get a win this week. So, every quarterback in this conference, it feels like, has something to be excited about. And the top, especially, all the quarterbacks we just listed, man, the conference is loaded. I think it's the best the conference has been since 2011 with Barkley and Luck, maybe 2014 with Mariota and Goff. It's a loaded year.
It's just a little bit deeper, though, because I really don't even know who's going to end up at the end, right? Even those years, Oregon, Stanford, you kind of felt like we're a step ahead of some of these teams. It's really 5-6 deep with teams that truly believe they can win the conference this year.
Yeah, but you know what beats great quarterbacks? Great defensive line play, Jordan. Great. We're going to see who the best defensive line play. We can write all these quarterbacks down here. You could all take them out with great defensive line play, Jordan.
Well, that's the thing. You might take them out by holding them under 30.
Yeah, it's not. We're not.
I mean, that's the truth of it, right?
It's this day and age of football. Yes, you are correct.
I mean, if USC plays Washington here and walks away, and the defense gave up 31, they probably won that game. Yep. And that's a huge win. That just may be what it takes to beat Michael Penix or to beat Bo Nix. These guys are old quarterbacks too, Sua.
Yeah, no, I don't. How is Bo Nix still eligible? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter,
man.
He's balling.
COVID.
I want them undefeated. I don't want Utah to lose. I don't want Oregon to lose. I want them all undefeated. So when we play them, there is no, they were down and not. No, I don't want to hear none.
That's
of it.
my biggest concern is with how deep the conference is. It feels like a recipe for
we always do
a 2-loss conference champ. We had 1-loss conference champ. It would not be crazy to have a 2-loss conference champ this year.
I agree with you, but the key is that scoreboard that we just showed, winning those games. And Utah holding on today, even with backup quarterbacks out there, getting that win at Baylor so that they're still top 10 kind of team when they come in here. Washington taking care of business. I think they have Michigan State next week. Win those games, and then it's just going to be ranked team versus ranked team in the second half of the season. And don't forget, USC has Notre Dame on the schedule. The Irish have a legit quarterback in Sam Hartman, too, and they look very good. The Trojans have to go to South Bend before they play most of these big dogs in the Pac-12. Tonight. So there's
all right, Oregon.
A lot of fun football ahead this season, and it starts here tonight. We are about to talk to one of our favorites, one of your favorites, coming up next on the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI. It's Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Rediscover your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, where you can be an impact player, a clutch hitter, or a wild card. No matter what your game is, the excitement and relaxation you're looking for is here. So get back to the fun and play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. You clock in for happy hours and holidays, late nights, and regulars. When others go to play, you go to work. Because you don't just carry kegs, you carry the night. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
Today, a strong NIL program is essential to long-term success. Introducing House of Victory, a nonprofit, alumni-led, name, image, and likeness collective. As a proud NIL sponsor of the USC Trojans, we're dedicated to providing student-athletes NIL opportunities and resources.
Supporters can honor the tradition of victory by ensuring success in our future.
Victory is in the fabric of everything USC. Welcome into the House of Victory.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception? First down? Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
We are back live on the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI inside the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. We're going to put a QR code up here on the video board. You're going to want to join us for this segment because we've got the legend in the house. Amon-Ra St. Brown is back. One of the best receivers in the NFL already. And how good, Amon-Ra, does it feel to stand here? You already got a win in your pocket. You got that Thursday night game at Arrowhead. How fun was that?
It was fun. It was super lit. Defending Super Bowl champs, to go in there, atmosphere was crazy. Detroit fans showed out, though. I mean, we in the warm-ups, I'm like, they're everywhere. All on by our bench, blue everywhere, blue sea. It was lit. But it was definitely one of the loudest games I've played. And I would say that game and Texas, my freshman year here, when we played at Texas, 2 loudest games I've ever played in, but it was lit. We came out with the W, so that's all that matters.
Well, I appreciate the fantasy points, bud. I know you got that touchdown for me. I know
you're that guy now.
That's how the I get.
I know you're thinking about me when you scored that one, but what's it like to be back, bud? Got the house. We're going to have a full house tonight playing Stanford Cardinals. For the last time, what's it feel like to be back in the house?
It's awesome. This is my first game back since I left. Yep. I hadn't been here after my rookie year. I wasn't here. Last year I wasn't here, so I mean, it's amazing to see it again. SC's rolling, Caleb's rolling, got the team going. I love what Lincoln's doing. I still watch. I mean, I'm watching every game that I can. Obviously, when games are later, I got 7:30 p.m. games. It's 10:30 where I am. I got to go to bed. But those early games, I'm watching all of them. I'm excited. I can't wait to see this game. Obviously, Stanford's always been a big game for me when I was here. I can't wait to see it.
I know you got a good group of receivers in Detroit, but if you took your receiver group when you were here at SC with Drake London, Tyler Vaughns, Michael Pittman, Velus Jones, all guys that are, either in the league or flirting with the league. Yep. How would that stack up as an NFL receiver unit right now?
That's a starting lineup right there, if you ask me.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, most of us are starting in the league. Pitt, me, Drake, Velus is in the league. Tyler was, bouncing back and forth. So I think we have one of the best college, receiver corps ever, in my opinion, if you look at it.
Say it, Dan.
We're only getting better, too.
Yep. Hey, I remember your freshman year, PRPs. They were talking about there's this buff freshman out there looking 27 years old. And I was like, bro, who's this with the 36-pack catching everything? And I was like, he's going to be special. And that's why you was my bell cow last year in fantasy.
Okay.
But never mind all that.
Yeah.
You guys got to chill with that.
What's it like having a brother in the league? Like, being able to share those experiences with him. And y'all are in the same division.
Right.
So, like, jersey swaps?
Yeah, definitely. It's super cool. I mean, when I first got to the league, he was on the Packers. So, Lions, Packers, same division. So, right when I got to the league, right when I got drafted, I was like, we're going to be able to play each other. It's going to be lit. Played him Monday night, my rookie year. That was super fun. I didn't catch many balls, but it was fun. Then last game of the season, my rookie year, we beat him in Detroit. Whole family was there. I don't know if you saw the clip. My dad had the flip jersey.
Yep.
That thing went viral. So that was super lit. And then he became a free agent the year after. Ended up signing with Chicago. So now he's still in the same division. I'm like, it's
purposeful.
Up. It's up. We can go again. So we played him last year twice, beat him twice. So I'm 3-1 against him. I could talk all the shit I really want because, we beat him.
Are these stories that, go on at the crib, during holidays? Like, hey, sorry.
Right.
3-0.
He can't say nothing really. He can say whatever he wants. I'm 3-1 against him. I can, I don't have to talk really at this point. Yeah. He has to come and beat me 4 more times to be up.
You're listening to Amon-Ra St. Brown on the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI. Hey, when you watch this offense, Amon-Ra, you imagine yourself in it. What stands out to you about Lincoln Riley and his offense that he's brought here at USC?
Yeah, I mean, for me watching it, it's like dudes are wide open. I don't know. I wasn't that open when I was playing. I'm like,
a lot of jump balls back in your day.
Amen.
Either they're that much better or the scheme is that much better. I don't know, but obviously the quarterback is one of the best ever to do it, so that makes it easier. But dudes are open everywhere. Plays, I mean, they show the replays, the plays that they're doing off of plays. I see it. The creativity is it's some of the best I've seen. I love watching them play. I mean, the playmakers they got at wide out, quarterback, running back, O-line. I mean, even the O-line itself, the run game looks different than when I was here.
Yep.
They're moving dudes. It's awesome to see.
There's always old players they talk about, this is running back you or linebacker you, obviously an argument for wide receiver you. What makes it such a special place, you think, for wide receivers to be here?
I think for wideouts, obviously the lineage, you look back at the wideouts that have already been here, it speaks for itself. But I think being a wide receiver at USC, obviously, I think it's just the swag. You're in SoCal, you're in LA. Each wideout, wants to have that idea of having swag, whether you like it or don't. You score touchdowns, you get in the end zone, people like you. You're a wideout. You got to have some swag. So for me, SC embodies that swag in itself. You come here, you play wideout. I mean, I think I think SC's wide receiver U. You can make
there
a
you
case
go.
for a few other schools, but in my
Put it
opinion,
out there, then.
SC's wide receiver U.
Well, if you're watching us on YouTube, stay with us because we are going to have an epic lights-out entrance tonight. Everyone in here needs to make sure they download the USC Trojans Game Day app. They can participate in it, but it's all going to be led by this man. We got the right man in the house, Amon-Ra St. Brown, leading the Trojans on the field here tonight. Welcome back, and enjoy your night at the ballpark. This is the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI.
Hello?
Conchas, takis, we need horchata.
AMPM has horchata?
Yeah, let's get some.
Sabor that goes on and on and on. That's Cravenience.
Almost done.
AM/PM, too much good stuff.
Tungus!
Not gonna believe this, girl.
Dad! Dad, have you seen this?
I did it.
Wells Fargo helps thousands of students go to college
He got in.
by funding $107 million in scholarships and programming for diverse communities.
Don't worry. I'll be back.
When a bank does what it says,
I knew you could do it.
opportunity happens. Doing gets it done. Wells Fargo, the bank of doing.
It's time for the Student Veteran Interview, brought to you by IBEW 11, NECA, and Pipe Trades. Together, these groups proudly support USC. Fight on!
It's time for this week's Student Vet Interview, and I've got Lorena Parada here, and she served as an automated logistics specialist and a petroleum supply specialist in the 40th Brigade Support Battalion. That is a mouthful. What did you actually do?
I worked in the supply office issuing supply to soldiers, and then I also worked as a fueler, setting up fuel points for when we went on missions in the state of California.
Well, thank you so much for your service. And now you're here at USC in the School of Social Work, getting your master's in social work. What's your plan for the degree?
I want to work at the VA alongside veterans that need support in mental health and any other resources that they need after transitioning from the military.
All right, and we are honoring you today here, USC versus Stanford. You get the first big game of the season. It's an old rivalry. Who you got, USC or Stanford tonight?
USC all the way.
That's what we like to hear. Fight on. And thank you so much for your service. Lorena Parada is this week's Student Vet Interview. Want the inside scoop on this game and all things Trojans? Be sure to sign up for the 3 Torches presented by Smart & Final. It's a free newsletter that'll hit your email inbox 3 times a week with game info, player insights, and more. Go to usctrojans.com/3torches and sign up. Back live on the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI. You could feel the juice in the building tonight. It could be a special one between USC versus Stanford. It's time to hear from the head coach, Lincoln Riley, with Keely Orr.
Who's going to teach you how to play football?
My football coach?
Let's go!
This is your Prescription to Win, brought to you by USC Pharmacy, proud partner of USC Athletics. USC Pharmacy is operated by the USC Men's School. Learn more at uscpharmacies.usc.edu. And now, here is head coach Lincoln Riley.
I'm Keely Orr here with head coach Lincoln Riley. Coach, this Saturday is college football's final Pac-12 matchup. I'm just curious from your perspective as a head coach, how do you approach some of the historical significance some of these matchups in this season will have?
Yeah, I don't know that we, think about it maybe in moment within the games, but we have made the point to the team to not overlook the historical significance. And I think the big deal with that is the opportunity at hand, right? You don't know when you'll play some of these teams again. There's a lot of history behind this. And so not like we needed more, but possibly even a little more added motivation to be ready to make sure and take advantage of these moments.
Under head coach Troy Taylor, Stanford's offense has shown multiple looks in their first week. How, as a defense, do you prepare for that?
Well, Coach Taylor does a great job. He's got a long history of doing a lot of things that really challenge you defensively, and being able to see them week one over at Hawaii, you could tell that they've taken to the system very, very quickly. It's not the traditional Stanford system of old, certainly. So times have absolutely evolved, but they're very multiple. They throw a lot at you, not afraid to run the quarterback, and they do that very effectively. I think how multiple they are is one of the biggest changes. I mean, they can be spread out throwing the ball, or they can pack guys in and run the quarterback and try to play very physical. They do a good job using tempo. It's just a very well-rounded group and a good group of coaches that know how to create advantages. So, we feel like we have the same thing on our side of the ball defensively, and so it ought to be a great matchup and a great challenge.
Your defense's front seven, especially the inside defensive linemen, look much more competitive this season. What does that do for a defensive coordinator like Alex Grinch as far as what he can call during the game?
Oh, good players make us all better coaches. I mean, listen, that's why you recruit. That's why you develop. That's why you spend so much time on those things. We can all, come up with any call we want. And the reality is if guys are executing that call, or you got guys that can not just go to an A gap but dominate it, or not just come down on a combo block but dominate it, it changes everything. And so I think we're still learning and adapting to the skill sets we have on the field. And I think we did a good job of that from week 1 to week 2. And obviously being able to have, I think, more consistent play across the defensive front is paramount for any defense. And I think we've seen some of the flashes of that here early in the season for us, which is exciting.
So far through 2 games, this offense has shown that you can't really count them out of any play. Is that something that just comes to with the territory with your offense, or is that more of a reflection of this roster?
Well, maybe some of both, but the guys got to believe in it, and I think they do. I think they always believe that they're in the fight and that they have a chance until the whistle blows. And I think we've got a lot of just really tough competitors that kind of set the tone for that, and the rest of the guys follow in place.
Alrighty, Coach. Thanks for the time and good luck.
Thank you.
Jordan, back to you.
Back live inside the Coliseum, the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI. And we've got Keely back on the sideline live with us as well. And Keely, not to spoil your report, but we watched Mason Cobb walk out here, and he didn't look dressed to play. What do we know about our linebackers tonight?
Yeah, so Lincoln Riley listed both Eric Gentry and Mason Cobb as questionable on Thursday. He said Thursday's practice would kind of determine it, and as you mentioned, we got more clarity during warm-ups. Mason Cobb is not dressed out. He was in some swaggy outfit, but that doesn't really match with the warm-ups that USC's inside linebackers were wearing. Now, Eric Gentry was warming up, but he was one of the last guys in the line to warm up, so I think I would still list him as questionable for tonight. But something that did surprise me so far, Jordan, is Jacoby Covington. When USC's corners were going through initial warm-ups, he was dressed in street clothes with his jersey around his neck, which is usually a sign that that person is not playing in the game. I haven't seen him out here so far. Most of the team is now back in to come out in full uniform, but that will be interesting to see at corner if Jacoby's not ready to go.
All right, some late-breaking news there potentially at the corner spot. Keely, you were at practice all week. We just saw you talk to Lincoln Riley. What do you have your eye on tonight?
That's a great question. I mean, really the inside linebacker play, but I also want to see how this offensive line adjusts to having Gino Quinones out. He was a guy who he started the San Jose State game. Obviously, the coaches had a lot of confidence in him, but what does it look like now when he's not one of the guys rotating in? So that means all eyes will be on Emmanuel Pregnon. How does he handle that position now that he's kind of locked it down? So looking for the offensive line, but honestly, I just want to see how this game goes against a first Pac-12 opponent.
Yeah, and they'll be without Mason Cobb, a guy that we were really excited about going into the year. You just have to hope that maybe they're thinking, hey, bye week next week, and let's get him fully healthy after that. It's a weird bye week, just to come after 3 games, so maybe try to take advantage of that. We don't really know. Yeah,
with this day and age, you don't know about injuries, so you just got to kind of go with whoever's out there. I think this is a big ball game to finding out who are the guys on this team. We talked about dudes earlier, but we're going to find out, I think, a little bit more. Lincoln talked about earlier in Trojans Live with us. We're going to find out who are these wide receivers they want to use this year. Who are the defensive linemen they're going to tighten down these rotations. Who are the cornerbacks they're going to use? I think this game is going to be a good barometer to find out, all right, these are the guys we're going to move forward in the season with.
And next, we might see 4 quarters of football. The Trojans, will they be pushed potentially to 4 quarters of football tonight? We haven't really seen that yet.
Yeah, and to me, I think, this is the type of game where it doesn't need to be a four-quarter game. I mean, again, this isn't necessarily a blow-you-away type of Stanford roster. Obviously, it's a conference foe. But, if we're going to be in that CFP contention and this is a lesser opponent, the challenge here, and we've been guilty of this over the years, maybe not in the Lincoln Riley era, is maybe playing down to opponents. No, this is a team you should take care of business with, especially in the second half, because we've talked so much about our depth. Stanford does not have depth. They have some good top-end talent, but when you start wearing that talent down in the second half, this should be a game where you can take it away.
All right, we've got one more segment to go, which means we get to find out who Sean will be campaigning for this week. A lot of politicking going on in our Best in the Game pick so far this year. Let's find out what the guys think when we come back in the Trojan Tailgate Show, presented by YETI.
I'm 1,000 miles from nowhere, and there's no place I'd rather be. I'm 1,000 miles from nowhere, and time don't matter to me, 'cause I'm 1,000 miles from nowhere.
Being the best takes hard work. It takes early mornings, planning, precision, sweat, sacrifice, and teamwork. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in their game. Old Dominion Freight Line, helping the world keep promises.
Final segment of the Trojan Tailgate Show, presented by YETI. Saturday night, prime time. The Legion, the student section, is ready to go. The fans coming in here. We hear close to a sellout. They even took up one of the tarps to allow for a little bit more room in case all the students show up here tonight. So looking forward to this one. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Sua Cravens, and Max Brown. It's been our pleasure to get you set for it. After this, Pete Arbogast and Sean Cody will be up in the booth. You can watch them on the Audi booth cam. Then Sua Cravens and Jason Schwartz will have the post-game show, so you can watch them as well. But now it's time for our Best in the Game picks.
The Best in the Game is brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of USC Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
All right, SUA won week 0. Week 1 was won by Sean Cody.
I want to thank the fans.
My family.
We need to vet somebody's voting.
Predicted that the backup quarterback would have some time to ball out at the end of the Nevada game.
Hey, I'm undefeated.
Exactly what happened?
That's all I'm saying.
Max Brown, a couple
strikes.
X's up there.
I'm undefeated.
Couple X's up there for Brownie. All right, let's see this week's pick. It'll start with Keeley's. What did Keeley choose up there? Her best in the game goes to Dorian Singer. And here we go, guys.
Breakout game.
Keely's just copying whatever my last pick was.
It's just hard to pick receivers right now. The ball's getting spread around so often. Singer had a touchdown in the first game, but was pretty quiet last week. Max Brown, what do you got?
I got Bear Alexander, the big boy in the middle, defensive lineman. I think this is a great matchup for him. It's a Stanford offensive line. I referenced it earlier. They've had 3 starting offensive linemen from a year ago transfer out of this program. Their left tackle's now playing for Oklahoma. Their center's now playing for Michigan. I think that's a group that's still trying to come together. This is an opportunity for Big Bear Alexander to take over a game.
So, Daddy?
Disclaimer, my pick had to get changed last minute, so I feel like there should be some voter fatigue for Sean and a little bit, sympathy for me.
Fatigue.
Kalen Bullock. Come on, Kalen. Look, my dog. Prove me right, man. Let's celebrate together next week.
There's just a lot going on in your relationship with Caitlin during this show. Like I
It's
feel
love,
like
hate.
Sue was
It's
always
love,
challenging him, and then he picks him.
Does he even watch it, though? He's trying to play a game
right now.
He's like
trying to play a game.
Kevin's in the locker room right now.
through him at this point. Yeah.
Sean, what do you got?
Well, these guys are obviously choosing defenders in a game of offense here. I don't know about this decisions here. Dorian Singer, it might be an all right pick, but I'm going Austin Jones. He's playing his old teammates in Stanford. Going to get the running back some carries today. Lincoln wants to get him going, so I'm rolling with Austin Jones tonight.
Yeah, my head is in a similar space. Sean, let's have a little RB1 competition. I'm going to go with Marshawn Lloyd, and I do think a little gauntlet being thrown down tonight. We could get these two and see who wants it. And Marshawn Lloyd, really impressive to me last
So
week.
if both of your guys go for like 75 yards and a touchdown, you guys are canceled out. It isn't like
we let the people decide.
How do you vote that?
It's not your decision, Sue.
Please follow USC_athletics on
There's
X,
rules. There's rules.
And we will put up a poll each Sunday or Monday. And then you guys can decide. We might chop off a couple people that just weren't even close. That's
Who's deciding that? You?
That is me.
Yeah. What is
Collusion. There you go.
Because it just can't be a straight popularity contest.
You two are on the same page.
I can't be, out there going up against, you guys, and you're just rallying your fan bases,
Oh, my gosh.
using that following.
What are you talking?
The
fans vote.
tweets.
What fans vote? Like what profile do we put the vote
X,
on?
Twitter, X.
All the people that are calling you at midnight, those are the people voting. That's the time to get it. You and Jason.
Y'all better vote for me because I stay up to 1 to answer them calls, and y'all be talking
late night
crazy.
ahead of you, buddy. You got a late night ahead of you.
Can
Max,
we get Cody in the stew one of these nights?
Max, how about some final thoughts from you as we go into this one?
Yeah, I just think this is a game where you really can take advantage of an opportunity here. Obviously, it's a step up from Nevada and San Jose State, but it's not in the conversation of the other teams that we reference in terms of the Oregons, the Washingtons, the Colorados, things of that nature. And so I think this is an opportunity to, if you're going to be an elite team, go take care of business against a lesser Stanford opponent.
Sewell?
It can't be a close win, I don't think. Like he said, this needs to be a dominant win. You saw what Colorado did to Nebraska today to their rivals. This is going to be the last time we play these guys. I consider them one of our closest rivals, even though technically they're not our rival. But, hey, I want to win by 4 or 5 touchdowns on these guys so they know this might be the last time we play you guys, and you know who was big dog when it was all said and done.
Yep. Bye week next week. They're going to have to sit on it, too, so you want to impress.
Energy's got to step up. Pac-12 game. Place is going to be packed tonight. Fans have been partying all day. They're ready to see a show tonight. Time to crank that up just a little bit more, Jordan.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley called for it at the end last week. He said the team need to level up. He said everyone in this building needs to level up. Preseason is over. Here come the Trojans to our left, taking the field. Stay right with us, and you can follow it all the way till kickoff. Thank you to Drew DeHart, Gia Lares, Rick Cutler, Ben Conroy, Daniel Zerunian, and all our crew that makes this show possible. We are ready for some big-time Pac-12 football. It's USC versus Stanford, and it's next on the USC Trojans Media Network.
You've been listening to the Trojan Tailgate Show, presented by YETI. We make the gear that helps you stay out longer, travel farther, and live harder. And by Pechanga Resort Casino, proud partner of USC Athletics.
Caleb with the snap.
Fans want to see yourself on the video board? Scan the QR code on the video board to join the selfie cam. Presented by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the video board for an important announcement about stadium emergency procedures. In the unlikely event of an emergency, you may be directed or required to evacuate. Please follow instructions and proceed in an orderly fashion to the nearest exit. Please note that this exit may be either above or below your seating location. If the nearest exit is below your seat location and is the field itself, you should proceed on to the Coliseum field and exit through either the Coliseum tunnel to the west or the peristyle end to the east. The peristyle steps are available for emergency exiting. If the closest exit is above your seating location, please proceed to the nearest exit tunnel. If exiting through one of the upper tunnels, please then access the nearest staircase to street level. Do not walk along the upper concourse. Once outside the seating area, vacate the Coliseum immediately via the nearest gate. Guests seated in the 200 and 300 levels of the Scholarship Club Tower will locate emergency exit stairs at each end and center of the building. Please exit to the concourse level and immediately proceed outside to the nearest gate. Guests seated on the 400, 500, 600, and 700 levels of the Scholarship Club Tower access emergency exit stairs at each end of the building and proceed to the upper concourse. Please then access the nearest staircase to street level and exit the nearest gate. Please proceed as directed in a calm, orderly fashion. We thank you for your attention. USC has assigned a high priority to assuring all athletic events are conducted in a safe and enjoyable atmosphere. In compliance with the Trojan Spirit Code, please respect all fans in attendance. For immediate assistance during the game, please speak with the closest usher or security personnel. To report any incidents of fan misconduct, please call the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum Fan Behavior Hotline. That number is 213-263-4007. Or you can text Coliseum with your seat location and a description of the situation to 213-263-4007. Again, that number is 213-263-4007. We thank you for your cooperation and hope you enjoy the game. Fans, be sure to sign up into the USC network Fight On for faster service. Fans, be a part of our pregame light show tonight, presented by Coca-Cola. Go ahead, take out your cell phones right now and scan the QR code that's on the screen to download the USC Trojans Game Day app. Touch the menu in the bottom right corner and then select Trojan Lights. Be sure to enable microphone and camera permissions and go to the Waiting to Sync screen and enjoy the show. Fans snap a selfie and tag it with hashtag USC Selfie, and you just might see yourself up on the video board during tonight's game. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at USC_athletics. And now, let's take it down to our DJ booth as it's time to feed the beast with Monster Energy and DJ Mosky.
Hey, family, I'm down in my DJ booth, my Monster Energy DJ booth, standing with an NBA pro. Shout out to J-Mac, Jordan McLaughlin right here. Make some noise for him one time. Hey, we need the energy all game long. Hey, Jordan, how does it feel when your Trojan family cheers loud and proud for you?
It feels great, man. It makes us want to win even more. So make sure y'all out y'all seats and cheering the whole game. Let's get it.
Come on, let's get to it. Hey, Jordan, do me a favor. Get everybody to say fight on one time.
Fight on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yes, sir.
One more time, make some noise for Jordan McLaughlin. I'm your friend in the neighborhood, DJ Mosky, in the Monster Energy booth. I'll be here all game long playing your favorite tunes, all right? For now, we need the energy. Let's go.
Fans attending Pac-12 athletic events, including competitions and ancillary activities, are expected to act in line with the conference's value-based goals, including
protecting the well-being of student athletes, promoting a culture of diversity, equity, belonging, and inclusivity,
and adhering to the highest standards of ethical conduct and sportsmanship.
Thanks, fans. Now let's all enjoy the game.
Fight on.
This season will be like no other, and the conference that exemplifies champions marks a legacy moment in the city that defines extraordinary. The 2023 Pac-12 Football Championship Game, Friday, December 1st. The top two teams in the conference leave it all on the field, live at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Secure your seat now. Visit pac-12.com/tickets today.
Not gonna believe this, girl. I did it.
Wells Fargo helps thousands of students go to college.
He got in.
By funding $107 million in scholarships and programming for diverse communities.
Don't worry. I'll be back.
When a bank does what it says,
I knew you could do it.
opportunity happens. Doing gets it done. Wells Fargo, the bank of doing.
The 22-year-old senior was found in a campus residence of an apparent suicide this semester.
He hid the depth of his pain and chose a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
A lot of my performance dictated my mental health and just like my mental well-being.
Depression can affect anybody. It does not discriminate.
I just want to make talking about mental health normal.
This season, we have more pressure than I ever would have imagined.
If we do not get promoted, we are in trouble.
This year is the year.
Yeah, you can just feel now there's stakes here.
We're all in physically, all in financially, and all in emotionally.
Burden isn't just that promotion. It's not ever letting down this community.
FX's Welcome to Wrexham premieres September 12th on FX. Stream on Hulu.
It's Corey Foreman here. Welcome to Joint Forces Day. Thank you for all you do. Fight on.
Welcome to Joint Forces Day. We thank all the men and women who served for this great country. Fight on.
Hey Trojan fans, this is Justin Dietich. Welcome to Joint Forces Day.
This is Iron Branch here. Welcome to Joint Forces Day. Fight on.
What's up, Trojan fans? This is Tackett Curtis. Welcome to Joint Forces Day. We salute those who are serving at home and overseas. Fight on.
Hey, Trojan fans. Welcome to Joint Forces Day. Today, we recognize those who all serve for our country. Fight on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the United Airlines field at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum for tonight's matchup, featuring the visiting Stanford Cardinal and the home team, your University of Southern California Trojans, home of 135 national championships. We hope you enjoy the entire game day experience this evening, and we remind you to follow the Trojan Spirit Code by showing respect for all fans in attendance. Thank you, and fight on. Take out your cell phones right now and scan the QR code on the screen to join our cell phone light show presented by Coca-Cola. During tonight's intro video, be sure to enable microphone and camera permissions. Hold up your phone and enjoy the show.
I'm Keely Orr here with head coach Lakin Riley for your Prescription to Win interview. Coach, it's college football's final Pac-12 opener. What do you want your team to accomplish tonight?
Well, it's an important game. It's our conference opener. There's a lot of history in the USC and Stanford rivalry. This may be the last one for a while. We want to make it count.
It's the last home game for a while here at the Coliseum. What are you hoping to get from this growing crowd tonight?
We need that home field advantage. This place is an unbeatable place to play. We appreciate you being here. Let's be loud. Let's have a great night. Fight on.
Thank you.
Fight on.
Once again, brand new songs called Day One. If Day One today, you ready to beat the farm? We need some noise in here. One, two, three, let's go. If you're ready to beat the farm one more time, we need you out here. Let's go. Woo! You ready? Sing this with me. Yes! Put those ones up if you're ready to beat them one more time. Here we go. Did we beat them in September last time? Here we go. Let me see you clapping with me. Now somebody scream! I'm DJ Malski. Somebody say fight on!
Members of the Trojan family, we are proud to present the Spirit of Troy, the University of Southern California Trojan Marching Band. Band, take the field. With drum major Jacobo Herrera, twirler Emily Tutnick, and the SC Silks. To honor our great nation and those serving in the armed forces, will you please rise and remove your caps for the presentation of the colors by the University of Southern California ROTC Color Guards. Joining the color guard on the field is a representative of the SoCal Pipe Trades, CPMCA, and IBEW NECA of LA County, proud supporters of USC athletics and our military veterans. Tonight we honor this week's student veteran of the game, Lorena Parada. Lorena served as an automated logistics specialist and a petroleum supply specialist in the 40th Brigade Support Battalion out of Azusa, California. Lorena is from Northridge, California, and currently attends the Suzanne Dvorak Peck School of Social Work, where she is getting her master's degree in social work. Please join us in welcoming Lorena Parada as our student veteran of the game and thanking her for her service. Please remain standing and join in singing as the Trojan Marching Band, under the direction of Dr. Jacob Vogel, plays our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, this year USC celebrates the 100th anniversary of the USC Alumni Association, the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, and USC's alma mater, All Hail. Please join in the celebration by following the words on the screen and singing along with the Trojan Marching Band and USC Thornton School of Music alumni Giovanna Quiroz and Alec Four, joined by USC President Carol L. Folt and the USC Alumni Association Centennial Advisory Committee. fight on. And now, collegiate football's greatest battle cry, Conquest. And the Trojans' mascot, Traveler. The Spirit of Troy, the University of Southern California Trojan Marching Band.
Fans, we'd like to thank Coca-Cola for their support of the Trojans. Joining us on the field for tonight's game ball presentation is USC Sports Properties General Manager Drew DeHart, who will be presenting the game ball to Sports Partnerships Lead Mark Guzman and Director of Market Execution Trent Campbell at Coca-Cola. Thank you, and fight on. Trojan fans, here are tonight's Audi keys to the game.
Come on, Trojan fans. We need you loud. Everybody on your feet. Here we go. If you're ready, somebody, anybody, scream!
Take out your cell phones right now and scan the QR code on the screen to join our cell phone light show presented by Coca-Cola during tonight's intro video. Be sure to enable microphone and camera permissions, hold up your phone, and enjoy the show. And now, please turn your attention to the tunnel and your tunnel captain for tonight's game, former USC wide receiver and current Pro Bowler with the Detroit Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What up, Trojan family? I'm back. I ain't been here in a minute. It feels great. Man, I need everybody up on your feet because it's about to go up. It's about to go up, man. I need everybody on your feet. Here come the Trojans. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Put your hands in the
The Trojan
touchdown, USC. Trojans right down the field.
I hold it down, ain't no holding back or holding up. Hold up a trophy cup of simple toast, don't holding up. Blowing up, can't reverse the damage, so you know it's us. Try to reach, all I know is speed, all you know is dust.
Nobody over there in that corner.
You got real will, but it still lasts. I can't relate you a gas can to a lit match, might blow you away.
And USC pulling away.
Now taking the field, your USC Trojans.